All right, I'm here with Dave Olsen and his installation at Frame 301 in Beverly, Massachusetts. Hey, Dave.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're good. So can you tell me about your installation and sort of your inspiration for this one?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this piece is it's called Chasing Infinity. It's the first part of like a 2-year-long project that I started this summer. It's kind of inspired by places that I went as a child and wanting to like share those stories and kind of experiences with others. Not necessarily in like kind of the narrative sense where, you know, I'm telling specifically about something that happened in my childhood, but you're trying to get like an overall feeling that, you know, a larger audience can kind of participate in. So, you know, so some of this stuff is actually drawn and painted from observation that, you know, I made when I was at some of these particular places. We visited a lot of kind of like these grandiose, like epic landscapes, like the Badlands and Pyramid Lake and the Grand Canyon. And I just thought, you know, like, why do these particular places have such a particular impact on me as a child, and how much have they changed over the years, whether or not it was because of development or just like the people that were there. So I guess I can kind of describe like a few of the things that you see in here. So
yeah, that'd be great.
One of the places, so if you look back here, there's actually a portrait, and this is actually one of my sister's imaginary friends called Mr. Pillow.
Okay.
And, my sister had like a series of imaginary friends that she, you know, would describe, and she would actually, you know, have dinner dates with and things like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was really jealous of all these, like, you know, imaginary friends. This is gonna sound like a crazy person, but I always wanted.
We'll tag your sister in this.
I always wanted to have my own kind of like imaginary friends.
Uh huh.
So I would, but they were never as cool because it wasn't like very honest.
Uh huh.
So I think, you know, as an adult, you know, I still remember like these personalities that she gave all these characters, which were kind of just like her own kind of, I don't know, different parts of her own personality. Like they were like self-portraits. So a lot of the time, you know, people describe these things as, you know, like the inside of my head or something like that. So I'm just trying to share some of these things that I think about, and a lot of them are visual images or objects, and in this particular case, yeah, it's my sister's friend, kind of in this own kind of magical, like made up.
So where's your sister's friend? Can you point
her out? So if you see here, see this blue kind of striped
yes
object. So this shape is actually like Mr. Pillow's shirt, and this cream kind of gray, just like the collar. And like its head's kind of exploding. I always like imagine Mr. Pillow as like a clown.
Yeah, definitely exploding clown.
And you know, she would bring these kind of characters to these particular places on these trips, and you know, some of these trips involved a lot of really strange, just like interactions with the environment. I mean, we used to, I mean, on like an easier kind of way to describe is one of the things we used to do too is we used to buy like tons and tons of like fireworks and explosives and, like go out into the environment and actually like kind
blow them up
and you know, kind of decorate these like landscapes ourselves.
Is that what's kind of going on, like over here?
Kind of going on in like the background.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is actually a three-dimensional space. There's like a 3-foot depth between the window, which has these sort of drawings on them, and then the back wall, which has sort of this graffiti-like street-style art. And what's going on over here? This big sort of spillover.
Yeah. So then on the front glass, there's more of like the actual drawings from observation.
Okay.
Mixed with this kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like intestines and guts and organs and So one of the other places that I visited is actually where my cabin is. So when I was in undergrad and I graduated in 1999, I traded in my pink Ford F-150 flare side
wow.
for this cabin in the woods.
That's quite a trade.
That I was gonna, yeah, it was. It's up in the Cascades. It's like this beautiful, like serene place. With, beautiful forest near a river and a waterfall. But the other thing that's mixed in there is a lot of people that are kind of crazy, I'm gonna call them, but maybe just like lost and kind of want to get away from society.
Yep.
And when we were there this summer, and we were actually filming, so on this trip I'm also filming this background footage for this animation that I'm making.
Yep.
I will have these drawn elements and these painted elements like superimposed in them. But each one of them has a theme, and the particular theme, the one in the one out of my cabin, is the neighborhood. The neighborhood it's strange. It's almost like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi. So it's just like woods and like kind of like a lot of these abandoned cabins mixed with like abandoned cars and abandoned trailer park, like trailers and things like that. And then there's also these people that are kind of like zombies due to their engagement in the kind of crystal meth lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I was also imagining, growing up as a kid, we watched a lot of George Romero, like zombie films.
Yeah.
So that one particular film is actually part of the film. We're actually going to superimpose like these zombies kind of like wandering around the forest. And
very cool.
What zombies do is they tear people apart.
Yeah.
Their guts and such are usually splayed out into the environment. So what you're seeing is this kind of, this.
What's going on in your head with the zombies and the guts.
And the guts. So yeah, there's lots of intestines.
Yep.
Being torn from living souls and out there.
I feel like there's a little Dr. Seuss
yeah, exactly.
Illustration going on in these lines.
Yeah.
So you can all get a sense of the space that Dave worked in for a week in the blistering hot sun.
Yeah, it was actually okay in the mornings, but by the time, the sun was starting to set, it kind of be, right over here, and it would just blast. I think it probably got up to 100 and something degrees.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was nice, motivated. One to work.
Oh yeah, great way to motivate. How do you think the sort of uniqueness of this space affected your, the output, the installation? Would you have done things differently if you were working on a much flatter space?
Something differently. I think the fact that there is this glass here, typically I like to introduce some kind of space, whether or not it's just on a flat wall. I like to introduce a three-dimensional element. And I think what was really nice about this, which was hard to work in because the space is so small, but it also provided this natural kind of ability to make a three-dimensional space.
Yeah.
So so there is this play. I mean, one of the things that I like about it is when you move across this piece, if it were just a two-dimensional image on one flat plane, there isn't this movement or this interaction. But here you actually kind of it almost seems like the background's animated. And I think that's something that really was nice and provided something unique that I haven't been able to
And it definitely looks like that through, the video that I'm shooting right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like there's some animation going on, which is something that I've always really enjoyed producing. I mean, a lot of the work that you see of mine outside of these painting installations are animation. They're inspired by things like Dr. Seuss, cartoons.
Awesome.
My father was a painter. He was really into
Well, can you do a little plug for yourself? Where can people find your artwork?
So if you want to know more about it, you can visit www.siamesebirds.com, and you can find all kinds of, strange, similar kind of pieces on that site.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Lydia.
Thanks.